welcome once again to the Neil and William Show, where we're a gangster when necessary. How's your weekend going so far?
Oh, it's going okay. I had a boring weekend. Parents are out of town. Well, not out of town. My father's out of town, but my mother's just down the street with her friends and just sitting, having my cat beat the shit out of me because he's evil. But other than that, it's fine. You know how my black long-haired cat, Sylvester, can be a total dick.
Well, American should be calling in soon, hopefully. Bone Daddy has some car problems. His Jeep is always barely running anyway, you know. I was surprised.
I thought he had one car. I was going to tell him to buy American.
Well, he has a Jeep.
German.
Yeah, no, this was a Jeep that he bought when it was American.
Oh.
Yeah. Jeep's always been kind of shitty. But, anyways, he's fighting with that.
How you can go to something cool like a Willis Jeep and then make crap? I don't know.
The transmission problems a lot on them. But this was like a tire issue. But, yeah, yesterday we went to go get pizza before the LSU game. And I was like hoping we wouldn't break down on the way. But so he'll be calling in later.
Everybody who's listened to this show knows that Neo was in the military for a while because he's always told us his great sailor stories. But I just want to be the first to say on the show, Happy Veterans Day. Have a good day tomorrow. And thank you for what you've done. And you know, get off the cigarettes because we want you around a lot longer.
Oh, I'll be around a lot longer. I got the, change to a cyborg. Eventually.
So, happy Veterans Day.
Well, thank you. And happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there, which brings me to an issue I want to bring up that has come to my attention. And there's a piece of shit that calls himself Johnny B. Posted his little video from YouTube on the site, and in his little YouTube thing, he blatantly, doesn't hide the fact that he hates veterans and whatnot, which, is his prerogative and free speech and all that, but this asshole takes it to a whole different level. In that he purposely commits a crime by impersonating veterans, by wearing a uniform he did not earn, and he says this in the video, and he says it with glee. He also says medals that I have not earned, patches I have not earned. And he does this every Veterans Day and Memorial Day so that he can get free meals, drinks, entertainment, etc. Especially, he takes great glee in going to WWE wrestling events for a discounted price. Veterans price. Free food, he specifically named Golden Corral, would always give him free food and stuff on Veterans Day and Memorial Day, whatever. And the guy's just a piece of shit, okay? You don't understand, well, I don't understand it, but I understand people not liking the military and stuff like that, and you can voice your opinion, but when you take it to this level of hatred and trying to benefit by being a veteran, somebody that you're not, and you never did anything to have the honor of wearing that uniform, that pisses me off. And I think it pisses Big King off, too. I'm pretty sure it does.
You know me for a long time. and you know me as a military history person. You know, I've always been about the military, even though I never joined up. And we've had our arguments about it and things like that. But you do know that I have a great deal of respect for people that are willing to take bullets for other people, and that's exactly what they do. And you can argue that, but that's my outlook. And and the one thing is, and I've told you this before, and I've told other people this, is you might not like the war, and you might debate about the war, but you should never debate about the soldiers or hate the soldiers for the war they're fighting.
I don't agree. Even I don't agree with the current war going on.
And that's the thing. And you've known me for a good long time that I would never disrespect the uniform.
It wouldn't even come into your mind to do this. Like most rational people, it would not even come into your mind to do something like this.
Because that's not only disrespecting the people that wear the uniform now, but it also disrespects the people that wore the uniform before. And both my grandfathers fought in World War II, both in the Navy, and that just shows a great deal of disrespect to them too. And I'm not the one to say, you know, oh, you're disrespecting me, now I'm going to shoot you, but have the decorum of respect that this profession entails, because one, these people aren't forced to do it. They aren't drafted like they were in Vietnam. You know, arms are not twisted and forcing people into the military. The phrase is citizen soldier. And
it's all voluntary now.
People, I think, miss that fact. We don't conscript. We don't force people in the military unless, and we've always given them a choice. Even when a judge says, you know, you're going in the military, he gives you the choice of jail or the military. So it's not like we hamstring people into this profession. It's what people choose to do, and it's a great deal of what's the word I'm looking for? It's a step in the right direction for some people.
Some people, it brings them out of a situation. For instance, in the hood, in the gang-infested hoods of this country.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I've had, I went to boot camp, and there was a lot of guys in there that were just trying to get out of a bad situation. And they did.
Yeah, and granted, there's some of the, like when the not Desert Storm, Operation Iraqi Freedom came along, a lot of those people joined the military for college education. Like they used the jihad, they just, and then they were surprised that they'd have to go fight. But come on, you're joining the military. It's an armed force. It's not, but still, even those people, because they stepped up and did what they had to do, even with stop loss and all those things that were pretty crappy for the soldiers. Let's admit it. You signed a 3-year contract, and then you see that it said or the duration. And we've been at war for a long time the last couple of years. So that affects it too. But, they knew what they were getting into for the most part. And to not show them respect by using that just to get food and drinks and things like that is awful. Now, but the thing is, if he's posting this on the Internet, that shows you the mental acuity of this guy. And the simple fact that if you go and say, look at me, I wore this, got free food in it, you'll never get free food there again, and they might come and press charges for you stealing their food. All right? Let's be honest.
It's a federal.
Well, I don't know. I know there's always that law that says you can't impersonate a cop or a police officer or a firefighter, things like that. So I don't know if there.
No, it is one, and they had another one that put more teeth in it recently. I don't know the exact name of the act, but it was recently put in maybe a couple of years ago.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't.
But
to do that,
you're listening. You're talking to a guy, Big King, that I got the my squadron got the UN medal and NATO got some UN medals and NATO medals while during the Bosnia.
Oh God. Did you have to wear the powder blue helmets when you were working? The powder blue hat?
Well, yeah. Here's the thing. I got my medals sent to me when I was already out, they sent it to my home, but it was addressed to a Lieutenant Lee. Well, I'm not a lieutenant. I was just, I was just an airman. I didn't accept these medals because, who knows, I didn't know of a Lieutenant Lee. It was probably an administration mistake. But I sent these back to the squadron. And as a result, I never did get any sent to me, but it's,
there's ways now, even if you've been out for a while, you just go to the Naval Records or Naval Historical Department and say, look, I'm Airman Lee. You sent me medals that I couldn't take because you addressed it to Lieutenant Lee. Can I get my medals? And most of the time, they'll settle up with you. I mean,
what's the chance that maybe they promoted me to lieutenant as soon as I got out?
Wait, were you Airman Basic or just a straight up airman?
I was aviation storekeeper airman.
All right, so you were tasked to be when you hit petty officer to get your rate in storekeeping.
I never did make. I passed the test for petty officer, but they never did. Never did give me a credit.
You were what's the word? Not tasked. You were oh God, what is that word? Pretty much, they would call you an aviation storekeeper, even though you didn't. You were still an airman. Oh, I can't remember. Any of our.
My rate. That was my rate.
Right, but from what I understand, you're an airman. You're just an airman unless you're billeted to be a storekeeper. Then they'll call you whatever. But yeah, good old Neo was a what's the word I'm looking for? The naval aviation equivalent of a supply clerk.
But anyways,
Neo could tell you stories about how he had to, find landing gear wheels that somehow were misplaced, and he had to go hunt them down. And it's just.
I got all kinds.
You told me that story. Now, what was your squadron? F-14 or F-18? You were 18.
I was initially in the F-14 squadron, the F-21, out of Atsugi, Japan, and then my next squadron was VAQ-141, which is the EA-6B electronic warfare squadron.
Oh, so you were on the Prowlers. Nice.
Yeah, I was in the.
And if you ever see a Prowler, and this is how I'll explain it because it's weird looking airplane. It's an A6 airplane with 2 extra seats in the cockpit and a big nodule on the tail, and that's the basic difference between an A6 and an EA-6B.
Same aircraft.
And it's basically the same aircraft, but you had more seats for more personnel and a big radar dome on the tail tip. And then you had jammer pods underneath the wing.
Yeah, big transponders.
And what's really cool about those big pods underneath, they had ram air turbines, so they had these little propellers on the front that would generate the electricity for the gear. So all your squadron did was block radio waves.
Yeah, we also could knock out electricity stuff, stuff like that.
I can imagine that. This pod supposedly generates so much microwave energy it could fry a steak at like 100 yards.
Yeah, 2 of them could knock out all the power in New York City.
And that's jamming pods, gang.
But anyways, so I want to make since this guy was so happy that every Memorial Day he got to do this shitbag. I want to make sure that this Veterans Day, this guy is caught and apprehended, reported, and sent to a pound you in the ass federal prison. The guy's name. I'm gonna name his name. Huh?
Either that or make him join the branch of the military.
He's too fat and old. He's like in his late 40s, and he's a fat ass.
If he was dressed up like a Marine, make him go through Crucible. If he was dressed up like a sailor, make him go through Battle Station, or whatever the Army and the Air Force equivalent is. If he was dressed in an Army uniform or Air Force, and make him go through that Hell Week system that they now developed for basic training.
No, I would make him go through Wog Day without the benefit and just kick him over the side.
or you could take him to an aircraft carrier and hook him up to the catapult without a plane.
No, that would kill him.
Oh, I thought you wanted
to kill. But no. Anyways, this guy lives in the Lawndale, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, Hillsborough area.
Oh my God, that's so funny. My dad is in Charlotte. He could arrest him for you.
What's that?
My dad's visiting family in Charlotte, so he could go arrest him for you.
Well, I have seen this guy's 2 addresses. I'm not giving out his address, but I'm giving the area that he lives in because he likes to go like a couple of counties over or whatever to do his thing. And so he lives in the North Carolina area, Charlotte, which is about, it's not far from Knoxville, Tennessee. He might cross the state line to go do this shit. Or South Carolina border, Rock Hill area. Also Myrtle Beach, Myrtle Beach, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Report if you see him, report his ass. You can get a picture of him on our show. He's a fat ass in his late 40s, maybe early 50s. I'm told he has a pretty extensive criminal record, so I would suggest don't, engage the guy. But if you see him, call the authorities to where he's at. He has a YouTube video where he crows about all this shit. That's also posted on the site under the username JohnnyB34434. And he goes by 2 names, John LaForest Shepard and John Elmo Shepard. So, if you see this asshole, report him, especially catching him red-handed in a uniform and medals that he didn't earn, trying to fleece the public. So, there you go. Be on the lookout. I have it's not just this show that's putting this out there. I got information from other veterans. So, the veterans are looking for him. Let's hope that for his sake and his health that they don't find him first.
It'll be nasty.
Oh, he deserves it. Any ass beating coming to him, don't get me wrong. Also a point, if you're another veteran and somebody comes up to you talking about, usually you talk about different commands you've been in and stuff like that. It's pretty easy to identify who is a true veteran and who isn't. But, like, the public doesn't really know. They don't understand. Like, he might be wearing patches and ribbons and medals and stuff where he's not supposed to, unless he's really researched it.
Okay,
but the public's not going to understand. They're not going to know where your specific rocker patch goes or something like that, etc.
And even the fruit salad, your metal ribbons, there's order of precedence. Something's more important than something, it goes before it. And when you get away from, like, heroic medals like the Navy Cross, the Air Force Cross, and things like that, or the Medal of Honor and things like that, you're not going to know where your campaign medal for Vietnam goes versus your campaign medal for, World War II. You're not going to, you can figure it out, but you're not going to, you'd have to think about it really hard. And most of these people, when they do this, they don't care. And so
he, in the video, Big King, he said he's looking to get his hands on a Medal of Honor.
Good luck. You better make sure you get the right one for the branch you're impersonating.
Yeah.
Because there are 4. I think they finally got one for the Air Force. There are 4 different Medal of Honors for each branch of the military.
Well, he has different uniforms for each branch.
Well, you better make sure he doesn't mess up his Naval Medal of Honor with his Air Force Medal of Honor.
So, I got something to dedicate to this guy.
Yeah, my foot in his ass.
Son, you worthless. Yeah, I'm worthless, penniless, broke, busted, and a dummy.
Well, thanks for the downer, dude. I really appreciate that.
Did that come through on your end?
Kind of, sort of. I could hear words, but
It was Sanford and Son.
it sounded like
Dummy. Guy's a big dummy. But he's not going to have a good Veterans Day tomorrow.
All right. Well, as long as his picture's out there and people know what's going on, I guess. But
Oh yeah.